Yeah.
Welcome to Maximize Your Potential with Dan and Lance. I'm Dan,
I'm Lance.
and this has been a long time coming, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
man, yeah.
We've had this idea for a while. Finally got the studio up and going.
Yeah,
with, with,
man.
with, with a few obstacles. Well,
Yeah,
more than a few obstacles, but
man, more than a few. We had quite a few, man. It was I would say we went through four contractors.
yeah, man, four
contractors.
contractors.
Yeah.
And finally had to do sweat equity, so painting and putting everything up ourselves.
Yeah.
But
that was a pretty dope experience, man. Honestly, because I don't get a chance to get my hands dirty too much.
right.
Working in home loans, working in mortgages, I'm usually behind my laptop.
Yeah.
On the phone all the time.
Me too. Yeah.
But even when I got something going on at the house, man, it's like, all right, who's the handyman I can call?
Yeah.
Who can I pick up the phone and get over here so I don't have to spend time doing this thing myself, man? But it was a good lesson in how to paint,
Right,
how to
how to paint.
hang panels, get lighting, camera angles, all those different
Yeah.
things, man. So when you really sit back and look at it, man, we really did more than just paint a space. We actually built a set.
Yeah, built the whole set, man.
Built the set, man.
Yeah. A lot of YouTube. Look, thanks out to what you guys. Some of you guys might know my cameraman Daniel. He had a lot to do with this as well, helping us put all of our
Absolutely.
equipment
Yeah.
and stuff like that together. But as far as sweat equity, man, we put it in. We
Yeah.
put it in. So I know a lot
Yeah.
of y'all think that I may not be the type of guy to say I should get my hands dirty. Well, my guy right here is vouching for me. We
We did it, man.
we made it happen. We made it happen.
Yeah, we did it.
But what is this channel about? I'm gonna speak a little bit on it. Of course, Lance's gonna speak a little bit on it. But
Yeah.
I'm a realtor. Been in this space, full-time realtor now for close to about 7 years. But as a whole, this channel, Maximize Your Potential, is going to be helping anyone watching this channel to level up no matter what, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
all areas basically of your life. That's what this channel is geared for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so I think one of the things that really motivated us to get this going, man, is because, with you, I know you already have a pretty big presence online. People see you. But one of the biggest things is we thought it was important people see the other side of you. And I think that's important for me as well, because I do a lot of the work behind the scenes. A lot of my real estate agent friends, one of the themes among our conversations is mortgages are not sexy. This is not something that people run to me for and they're excited to talk to me about. So I think it's important for people to see the other side of me as well. So like you said, man, we'll definitely be talking about things, leveling up financially, leveling up spiritually, mentally. I myself am a family man, so it's important for me to kind of share my failures and successes as a family man as well. I've been married almost 17 years now, man, 2 kids,
Nice.
9-year-old, 11-year-old at home. So, that's a mission in itself. All of that while holding down a career is definitely a feat not to be taken lightly. So
Yeah,
people need to understand that, we're going to have our challenges. We're going to have our difficult days, those days in the dark. But ultimately, we all can still work to maximize our potential no matter what capacity we're talking about, man. So,
I like it. Yeah.
For me, I didn't grow up here in Dallas, but Dallas is the place that I call home now. I really love it here, man, to be honest with you. Dallas is probably one of the best cities that I've been to in the U.S. Truthfully, and it's not just because of what I do for a living, but I definitely want to speak to that. As a mortgage loan officer, as a mortgage broker, it's been critical to my success, this particular region of the United States. And I'm sure you can speak to that as well. I know you're not from Dallas originally. You grew up in Chicago, right?
Grew up,
right?
born and raised
so
Chicago.
what brought you to Dallas, man? What's the story
Man,
behind that?
listen, I came to Dallas. It was an accident, really, man.
Wow.
I mean, it was an accident, really.
Yeah.
Was a loan officer for many years. That's when I came here. But anyway, I was working with a bank, had a contract going on, and it was in Tampa for a little bit, about 6 months. Went to San Jose for a little while. But a friend of mine named Jason, shout out to Jason. Jason was encouraging me to come visit Dallas. I'm like, man, I ain't going to Dallas like we're Cowboys and all that of stuff. Like, I'm a city
thinking
boy.
It's cows and it's pastures and the country.
This Dallas ain't for me.
Right.
So, but no, ended up coming down here, visiting, and my eyes were open. Like, man, Dallas is kind of like back in '02 was kind of like best kept secret. It's not so much secret now.
Right.
But best kept secret, man, with employment, cost of living was really, really cheap. For good living at that. So, man, I took a leap of faith, man. Keisha, who's really good, still friend of mine, her and her husband, awesome people, man. I came down here and was on her couch, man, for 2 weeks. Was on her couch just grind out. Me and my friend Neil, man. Neil came down as well. We grinded it out, got some job offers, and I was like, man, let me see if we can get a place, because I had like, I think at that time I had a little money, not even a lot. I think I had like $5,000 saved. I barely had no money.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wonder, I don't got that much money, so I'm wondering, can we get a crib? Ended up getting a house with our offer letter, man. They accepted our offer letter and gave us a 3-level townhome, 2-car garage in Plano.
Wait, so no job yet? No job yet?
We had a job offer.
So you hadn't even got a paycheck yet.
Man, I ain't got a paycheck. So I paid the first month's rent deposit. We halved on that. And I was like, listen, I don't got a job. I got a job, but we haven't worked yet. Here's my offer letter. We in sales, so we finessed it.
Yeah.
And man, they gave us the keys, man.
Right.
They asked upper management. Upper management said, yeah, the lady, I forgot her name, vouched for us. And man, the rest is history, man.
Yeah.
So I knew that was kind of like God's gift of saying this is kind of where you need to be at.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, that's how I ended up in Dallas, man.
You know what's funny, man? Sometimes, you end up kind of sliding your way into something rather smoothly. I think my story is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I definitely had a rough path to Dallas. Yeah. What's crazy, man, is so I was originally raised in Louisiana, a city called Kenner, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. Many people might be familiar with that area. Well, August 27th, 2005, everything was normal. I'm going into the office, working, doing my thing. We start seeing news about a hurricane coming.
Oh,
the big one, man, the big one. So the hurricane's coming. And this is normal life for us in Louisiana, man. It's like, all right, well, if it's coming, we could either decide to stay, hang out, just ride this thing out. Or if it's bad, then we'll just drive to Texas or Mississippi or something, the next state over. Yeah. And just kind of ride the storm out in the next state over. Well, as the news is going on and on, it's just they're talking about how bad this thing is going to be. August 28th comes, the day before the storm. I'm like, all right, man, so I need to make a decision. So I'm like, all right, well, I pack up a few friends in the car. Shout out to Dre, Nick.
Nick,
Stanley,
shout out to Nick.
A couple of my people, man. So we jump in the car. We're like, all right, man, we're just going to go to Houston. So I packed a bag for about 2 days. You know what I mean? I got 2 days worth of stuff. I go to Houston. Long story short, man, this wasn't one of them turnarounds. You know what I mean? I was in Houston. I was stuck in Houston. Because the storm had completely destroyed the New Orleans metro area, man. A lot of people know about the tragedies that occurred with Katrina, man. But as a result of all of that, it's crazy how you talk about faith, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes, man, God will shake things up for you, so you ultimately end up somewhere else, but you don't see it as it's happening.
Right.
But looking back on that, man, had it not been for that storm, had it not been for all those crazy things that happened, I wouldn't be here sitting with you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I would not know D Hunt. I would not know a lot of the great real estate agents, professionals. Man, I've met everybody in Dallas, man. You talk about every level of professional, from physicians to engineers to real estate agents, loan officers. Shout out everybody in the mortgage business, man. Because I had just got into the mortgage business in March 2005. Well, August 2005, my life completely changed. I thought I was going to be working in that office where I was for years. I was with a company called First LC Financial. And I got into that business, man, just because I was working hard doing something else. And I say that to say, man, you never really know who's watching you do the work that you're doing. Yeah. And they have a plan for you in their mind. And sometimes that plan,
you don't even know it yet.
And you don't even know it yet. You have no idea that people are watching you work hard. And they're thinking to themselves, man, how can I partner with this person?
I'm a kind of pivot off that. Lance had reached out to me beforehand some years ago, maybe.
Man, years ago, man.
Years ago.
Well, we've always kind of, had these ideas we've thrown and bounced off of each other, So, yeah.
But me having, we'll get more into that later, me having a loan officer background, I won't say any names because we don't want to put them out there, but the particular company he worked for, I already knew his work ethic.
Yeah.
I knew the standard of work and integrity that Lance stands by. But, I came to him straight like, hey, man, I can't fool with you because you work with such and such and such. And me being a loan officer and an underwriter, I know the obstacles that you can't control.
Yeah.
Working with Chase and also Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
So, but I always had in the back of my mind that if things were to change, this is a brother that I wouldn't mind doing something like this with.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know that, you know, it was in the back. It's always been in the back of my mind that I would do something like this, like a podcast. Because I've always wanted to have a podcast. He's had his idea. I've had his idea. We didn't know what the name was going to be and maybe the concept, but I knew that this was something that I wanted to do because, you know, putting yourself out there, you know, creating trust through influence in this day and time is vital. I mean, it's vital.
It's
you know,
critical.
I mean, the days of just kind of just,
Yeah.
you know, sending out mailers or whatever like that, those are slowly but surely declining. So when he reached out, I was like, hey, man, let's do it. Cool, no problem. But yeah, I mean, I'm just piggybacking kind of what you said.
Yeah.
People can have an idea. That's why, you know, I always in classes, different seminars that I talk with, continue to put yourself out there. You never know who has a plan or who may want to level up with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And a good friend of mine, man, named Bavu, we talk all the time. And one of the themes of our conversations, man, is always go outside.
Yeah.
We say that all the time. And so what we mean by that is, man, people need to see your face. You need to be out doing the work.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of the environment now has shifted to these stay-at-home jobs and things like that, which is great for people in their lifestyles and it can be convenient, but don't forget to go outside, man.
Man, that's a good
Yeah.
don't forget to go outside. And reason being is I don't have a college degree. I don't have a college degree.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay. I don't have a college degree. Went to went to college for a semester. And I'll never forget, I asked my history, which, you know, college is great for, depending on what you are going there for.
Right.
But in my opinion, you know, business management, what I was going for, it wasn't cut out for me.
Yeah.
So I remember asking it was a social studies teacher at that time. It was just a filler class I had to get. And I asked him how much he made. And I was like, man, I made that halfway through the year selling cars at Jacob's Twin Auto Plaza. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this ain't it. I really don't want to be here.
Right.
So long story short, I left. But I say to say this, every job that I've had since I can say probably mid-20s for sure, I've made anywhere between maybe 60 to 100,000. Okay, 60 to 100,000 working a job at that time. Outbeating a lot of people with degrees.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Outbeating a lot of my friends who had degrees, associates who had degrees, from things that we're going to talk about, being willing to go outside.
Yeah.
It's really about who you know, networking, presenting yourself as a brand so you can influence the individual on the other side of the desk to give you a job. You know what I mean? So it's the things you don't learn in school that are important in the real world. And that's why, man, it's important.
Yeah.
You got to go outside.
And one of the things that school cannot teach you work ethic, man.
Yeah.
School cannot teach you hard work.
Yeah.
That's got to be either in you or not in you. You know what I mean? And so that's ultimately how I ended up in the mortgage business, man. I was selling cell phones after I graduated from high school. I was working for a little small regional cell phone company called Alltel. A friend of mine, shout out Antoine, a good friend of mine came by one night. So the way we used to do it, man, we had retail stores and then we had little kiosks that we would set up in Walmarts. All right. And so the kiosks that we can set up in Walmart, we could be there anytime. Right, so that's basically an invitation to me, like, oh, I can come anytime and make some money. All right, let me pull up there, and I'm coming make some money. So I'm in there, man, like midnight one night, selling cell phones. I'm talking about I'm in there walking around the store, getting people to come to the booth. You know, man, as a young, just enthusiastic man.
So you at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
people are still in the store. What store was this?
This was in a Walmart. So the name of the cell phone company was
The Good Days
Alltel.
was open 24 hours.
Yes. So this was before you know they COVID and all this other stuff, right? This is in 05, man. So we're talking about 24-hour Walmart supercenters, right?
Okay.
So they have Alltel is the name of the company. So I set up the kiosk in Alltel. I'm walking around selling phones. A good friend of mine walks by. He's like, bro, you selling cell phones at midnight? Man, you need to come work with me, man. He was a loan officer. Okay. So he was in the mortgage business. He's like, bro, if you got this kind of hustle, if you working like this, man, you make a killing doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And I'm just hearing them talking, man. You know how you listen to somebody, everybody want to brag about how much they making and this and that, man. So you kind of like, all right, I hear you. And so I never even fathomed at that time because I was kind of fresh out of high school, man. I was 19. I never really fathomed at that time what real money looked like, man. I was really just trying to get enough money to go out, have fun with my friends. I wasn't really of a very mature mindset at that point, you know. But through those years, man, ultimately he got me a job with a company called First and LC Financial. I became the youngest branch manager in the history of the company. I was 20 years old running a branch, just doing all these different things that were just phenomenal for my age.
Yeah.
But at that point, man, it was really an understanding for me, like, okay, since you're not going to go to college, I know you talked on this earlier, since you're not going to go to college, because I just really felt like it wasn't for me. So what can I do to take care of myself? And if I decide to have a family later, what kind of position can I hold to do that? And mortgage proved to be that thing, man. And so I've been treating all of my jobs in the mortgage industry and the financial services industry as school.
Yeah,
And a lot of people don't understand that, man. These people will pay you to go to school.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you pull up to these companies, man, they will teach you their culture. They will teach you their way of doing business. You have to take that in and use it as an educational opportunity as opposed to just looking at it like a paycheck.
Gotcha.
And so when you start looking at those jobs like education, the sense of gratitude that you have for that position, even if it's something that you don't want to be doing for the rest of your life, it opens up a whole sense of gratitude for you.
That's
and
a
I know
good. That's a good.
you can
That's a
speak to
good
this
point.
too, man, because gratitude is really the way to success. A lot of people don't understand that, man. So I know you're big on the affirmations and talking about those things, man. So tell me about that and how gratitude and everything else that's positive has helped you to get to the point where you are now, man.
Man, I mean, your attitude has a lot to do with your success, man. A ton to do with your success, even when things are not going well. Small example, just with this space, we had some obstacles with this space, but it wasn't a matter of if this is going to happen or can we do it. It's happening.
Determination.
It's happening.
Determination.
We got pushed back a little bit, but it's happening. And that's how I look at a lot of pretty much every area of life. You know what I'm saying? I do believe big time in affirmations. I believe in 100%. Shout out to some of my mentors who aren't here, like Bob Proctor. I name a bunch of mentors: Bob Proctor, Earl Nightingale. And this goes on and on. But I mean, being able to hypnotize your subconscious mind, because our conscious mind tells a lot of times we can do it, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. I can make this happen, whether it's lose weight, whatever it may be. But your subconscious mind counteracts that all the time and tells you that, no, you can't. You can't lose weight. You're too fat. You can't make money. You've been broke. Your family's been broke. It's a constant battle between the two. You know what I mean? That's where kind of like the angel and the devil comes in at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really your subconscious and conscious mind. You know what I mean? That's a good way to kind of give that an example. But when you get to a point to where you can almost hypnotize your subconscious mind to where it's like negativity may come your way, haters on social media. I mean, right now we're live on Instagram. We're recording. This is going to be a future recording, so you guys are getting it live right now on my Instagram.
This is raw footage.
This is raw
right
footage.
Yeah.
You're gonna see, of course, the edited footage when the channel goes live, which should be probably next week when you get all these different episodes edited.
Right.
So be sure, be on the lookout. We're gonna keep doing lives for maximize your potential. So you can go on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. But the people watching us live right now on IG, you guys are getting this taping live, okay?
Yeah. This is the raw.
This is it, But I mean, man, it's all about hypnotizing your subconscious mind to where it's like, we ain't gonna say no names, but you had a couple people that were doubting you about this space.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
But you don't get that from me. I'm like, man, we doing this. We decided we're gonna do this. We doing this until it blows up. We were determined to help as many people out there, trying to counteract a lot of those bad agendas that are out there by the powers that be and many individuals. You know what I mean? A lot of BS is out there on social media and just in the world. And I feel like stuff like this, channels like this are needed. And we're gonna get more in depth in that, of course, in other episodes. But man, affirmations, the people you hang around, very, very, very important. You know what I'm saying? Very, because they also influence your way of thinking as well.
The company you keep, man, is. My mom would tell me this. My dad would tell me this as a kid, man. The company you keep basically determines who you'll be. And we try to have this this way about us where we think we're stronger than that. We don't necessarily have to be influenced by everyone around us. But like you said, man, you have to kind of speak positively to yourself. And that doesn't just go with your subconscious and conscious mind. That also goes with the people that you surround yourself with.
Definitely, man.
The people that you surround yourself with will determine your success or your failure. And when you succeed and when you fail, it's still important to look at how those people around you are handling your failure and your success.
100%.
Because a lot of times,
that's
a lot of times, man, people will doubt you based on how they failed in the past.
Yeah.
You know, so if I failed at, I don't know, setting up a podcast, setting up a YouTube channel, I'm gonna tell you all the things I failed at, and a lot of the times that's just me speaking my fear into you.
Yeah.
Or
jealousy and envy a lot of times.
That's very true as
Yeah,
well.
man.
That's very true
Yeah,
as
man.
well. So it's important to make sure that we balance out our subconscious and conscious mind with the right people in our circle as well.
Yeah.
You know, one thing
Yeah.
I was intentional about, man, when I started using Facebook and social media a little bit more regularly, I made a commitment to myself years ago that I would start to reach out to people who I thought were doing positive things online.
Yeah, right.
You know, so
right.
if they're showing their lifestyle, if they're a professional doing, you know, mortgages, or if they're a professional doing real estate or whatever it is that they're doing, I thought it was important for me to not only just watch and follow them, but I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to ask for their secret sauce, right? What did you do to become successful at what you're doing today? And that's something that a lot of people don't do.
Right.
You know, what happened with social media, though, is that social media made the world smaller.
Real small.
People
right.
don't understand that there are no more than 6 degrees of separation between me and the most famous, well-known person in the world.
Exactly.
Based on the facts, but also based on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, again, made the world so small. There's so many people who have gotten their shot as a result of social media.
Yeah.
And it is possible for you to even pick up your phone and literally get in touch with almost whoever you want to get in touch with.
Man, that's a good
based on
point.
Using social media. So this is our way of reaching out to those people who are on their phones, on their laptops, on their iPads all day, scrolling social media. We want to put something positive in the algorithm, in the currency.
Exactly.
Right? And make sure that people sees what we're doing on a regular basis, and they can have the opportunity to reach out to us for a little bit of motivation, a little bit of strategy, just some understanding on certain things. And I don't want to put myself out there like we're some perfect duo here, like we have it all figured out. The matter of fact is we don't have it all figured out, but we're willing to share with you what we know, and we're gonna learn together.
The thing about it, we didn't have this all figured out.
No, sir.
Just for the pockets, but
no, sir.
But it was a matter of this is what we doing.
Yeah.
And many YouTube videos later, YouTube University, at this day and age,
that's right.
There's really no excuse.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no excuse.
Yeah.
For this equipment that we have over here. We don't have someone that's doing this for us. We learned it.
Yeah.
We had help from people that gave us guidance on doing this, and here we are. We're connecting it. Like, it's no excuse. If you really want to do it, you got YouTube, you got Google. Make it happen. On top of social media, like I've put, you guys maybe on IG and Facebook, you've seen me put a post out, hey, I need this or I need that. I posted out, hey, anybody knows someone that knows how to put together a podcast studio? And I get 4 or 5 people that reach out to me, DM, like, hey, talk to my boy here or talk to my girl here. You know what I mean? Put yourself out there. I can't count how many clients I've received as a realtor by constantly putting myself out there, people that I know for a fact I would never be able to reach. If you want to, whatever business you want to start, you do hair, you got a restaurant, you're a loan officer, you're a realtor, you're a roofer, whatever it is you want to put, you want to do, you want to accomplish, whatever business it may be, okay, product or service. What you need to be doing in today's time, no excuses. This phone right here is powerful. I can't even count how many people we have here on live now. See it here because we got it far ahead, but this phone right here, these cameras right here, social media is powerful. If you do it with consistency, people will then see that you're serious. You post 1 or 2 times, you ain't for real. You're not for real. You know what I'm saying? And people are going to tell you you're not for real, but in the back of their mind, they're like, oh man, she posts when she feel like it. She ain't for real. Or he or her is a secret loan officer, or he's a secret real estate agent. You know what I mean?
The secret agent.
They're a secret agent.
You 007 out here.
You know what I'm saying? You're a secret agent. You know what I mean? But when they go to Dan Can, you go to YouTube, you go here, oh man, he's put himself out there. We are about this. Are you about the life? Are you about life? Now there's other ways, of course, of getting clients or potential buyers, of course. But if you want to do it this way, man, it's only going to happen with consistency because it's all about what have we seen you do lately, not what we seen you do 2-3 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Are you on fire now?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
and so you touched on something critical, man. You talked about reaching out to people using social media. One thing that's missing, and it's because of a few different things. It may be a lack of understanding. Sometimes it may be pride, but ultimately
Yeah.
you have to understand you need a mentor.
Yeah.
You need a mentor. You need a real person who's going to hold you accountable. You need a person who's going to give you the tips of their trade and what they've done to be successful. I always say, man, you have to stretch yourself out. If there are people that are doing things that you want to do, you have to reach for them.
Yeah.
Because they're
Yeah.
busy. You know, these people have a schedule. These people have a family life. They have a personal life. They have all these things going on. But you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about reaching out to the people that are where you want to be and being bold enough to ask them for help.
Right.
See, humility is being willing to ask for help, right?
100%.
And so right now we're in a very prideful time, right? You might get online, everybody's trying to show their best self. Everybody's, showing off this and that. But ultimately, like I always say, man, we don't have it all figured out. But if you are willing to reach out to the person who is doing the thing that you want to do, watch how your life changes.
Oh, big
and sometimes
time,
you
big
have to
time.
be as bold to just ask them flat out, hey, do you mind being my mentor? Can you show me the ropes in doing this or that? Do you mind holding me accountable so that I can be my best self, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're willing to reach out to those people, watch how your life changes. Give it 90 days. Give it 90 days of constant contact with this person and ask them to fit you into their schedule and show you what it is that they're doing for a living. Watch how your life changes.
And I like how you said 90 days, because even with, like I said, I keep going back to just setting up this whole podcast room. It took us about a little under 90 days to get this really up and going.
But we were thinking at first it would be like this, right?
Right. We were thinking it was going to be be quick. And a lot of people, I see so many people miss their opportunity or miss their blessing by giving up too soon. You know what I mean? First off, you need to really find who you are and what is your purpose. What is your purpose? I was jumping around from job to job, work a job 2, 3 years, 4 years, end up leaving because I knew early on, probably in my early 30s, what my purpose was, but I was afraid to step into it.
Wow.
Because I knew what it would entail. You know what I'm saying? So I was afraid to step into it. So first and foremost, you got to find out what your purpose is. Once you find out what your purpose is, it's a matter of, I'm doing this until it blows up.
Yes.
There's no other options.
Yes.
You do this or you die.
Yeah.
Like me being a realtor, starting out, I hated it. I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I can do this. I can attract clients. I can make money, but I didn't enjoy this. I didn't enjoy it until I started doing YouTube. When I started doing YouTube, I started realizing that, man, this is my way of giving back.
Yeah.
This is my way of showing people how to do it. And then other opportunities that you're not even ready for by following your purpose, by finally finding your passion. I know I wanted to be in front of the camera, but I didn't know how it would happen. I wanted to put myself out there to help people, but I didn't know how it would be. I didn't think real estate would make that happen.
Yeah.
So by doing that, I started with, man, okay, now this brings speaking engagements and mentoring people, things of that nature, which now makes my job fulfilling. I enjoy what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And that leads to these opportunities. That leads to opportunities that I had no idea would even come my way from following your purpose and your passion. You know what I mean? No matter what anybody says, I get tons of people bringing different ideas to me. Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's like, no disrespect. I wish you all the best. Man, God's grace upon you. But no, why? Because it doesn't fit my plan. Doesn't fit my purpose. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fall into what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So it's no disrespect. And it's not hating. It's not hating at all. It's okay to say no.
Yeah.
It's okay to say no. I respect you to tell me, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, cool. And no is a complete sentence.
That's it.
If you want, to explain, let me tell you, if you want to explain why, that's up to you. But you don't necessarily have to. And if you were the real person who was real within themselves, they're not going to be offended by that. If I ask Lance, hey man, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing this, can you do it? He says, no man, I just can't do it. I got a lot going on. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't take it as him, being disrespectful or anything. I just know that it just doesn't fit in his wheelhouse. So, man, Noah's a powerful word, man. Don't be conned or feel like you have to say yes to everything and everybody.
Yeah, and that's true, man. Because it's sometimes it's the opportunities that you don't take that will lead to the things that are on the path where you're supposed to be going.
Right.
Right. So yes, sometimes can be a weakness.
It can.
Weak-minded people don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's important to understand your boundaries.
Yeah.
It's important to set boundaries around yourself so that you can protect your peace, your purpose, and your passion. Right.
Yeah.
So without no, you would be spread so thin. There will be so many things that you will be trying to do so that you can make the next person happy, so
Right.
that you can appear to be kind to everyone. And again, you can say no in a kind manner.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
You can
definitely.
say no
Yeah.
in a nice way. So sometimes I look back and the power of no, I look at that over my life. Sometimes when people told me no, and it was a disappointment in that moment for me, right? So whether it was a job that I didn't get or an opportunity that I didn't get because the other party said no. But when I look back on those things, it's the old saying, man, it's very fundamental, right? So one door closes, another one opens.
Another one
it's
opens.
really just that simple, man. You know,
Yeah.
we try to overcomplicate things and write all these grandiose plans about this and that. But sometimes, have you planned for no?
Yeah.
Have you really planned for no? Have you sat back and thought about, okay, if this person says no, what opportunity is this going to open up for me? As opposed to if this person says no, what is this going to destroy for me?
That's a good
Or
way
what
to
is this
think about
gonna-
it. Yeah.
What problems is this going to cause me?
Yeah.
When you hear no, just know that it is an opportunity elsewhere that's just waiting for you to step into it.
No, that's a good point. Also, too, man, I say this all the time. Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
My vibe, my frequency, my vibration does not attract everyone. Some people may think it's too much. I've been called, you know what I'm saying, cocky, or I think I'm all this and that, and it's not that at all. I get on my knees every single morning and every single night and thank God for everything that He's done for me
Yes.
and my family.
Yes.
So I believe in, like Lance said before, in major gratitude. I believe in being grateful and being thankful, but always wanting more.
Yeah.
Always wanting more.
Yeah.
What's the next level? What can we do more for ourselves, for our family, and for others? Because it's not all about me. You know, it's not all about me. It's about giving back the knowledge, the wealth, whatever we can to others as well. But yeah, man, I'm a big believer of my vibe attracts my tribe. With social media. When I get I've seen people, they get upset when people, let's say, defriend them from Facebook.
Yeah.
And they get defriended. For what? I got 150 people in my back page waiting to be my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got millions of people out there that's vibing with you that and you don't even know about it because you're not putting yourself out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I see my personal channel, my personal page stays at 5,000. It stays at 5,000 people, right? When it goes down 2 or 3 or 4, cool. Thank God. That's like you coming into my house, taking out the garbage for me.
Yeah.
You done came to my house, wrapped up the garbage, and put it outside in the garbage can.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next. Because this person is vibing with me. This person probably saw my video somewhere or somebody told them, hey, man, this is a cool dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is the person I want in my tribe anyway. So don't worry about people hating. If they're not on your same page or encouraging you, you know what I'm saying? People like us.
Yeah.
If you have anything that you try to do positively, and you don't have positive comments from any individual, that's not somebody that you want on your team anyway.
Yeah.
There's no way to work. People like us know what it takes to start a business, to be successful, to purchase a home.
Yes.
Your debt-to-income ratio got to be in whack. You have to sacrifice buying certain things so you can save money.
Yes.
Your credit score needs to be in whack. Your household needs to be in order. Husband and wife need to be on the same page.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that goes into even purchasing a home.
Absolutely.
So you got a friend that's going to hate on you because you bought a house?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. I've seen things like that where people will hate on it or be jealous because someone has conceded something, not knowing you didn't want to put forth the work to make that happen. You didn't want to sacrifice to make that happen. You know, so you need people like us or people in your circle that's gonna be like, man, congratulations. Keep going. Get that mug renovated or decorate the way you want. Like go. Keep going. Don't just stop and get complacent. Like keep going. You need people like that in your corner.
And that's the power of words.
Yeah.
You know, words are really a frequency, man. So when you speak into someone and you're not saying anything positive, you're really just tearing that person down. And, you know, you have to be resilient, obviously, to understand what's what. But the truth of the matter is words are extremely powerful. right?
Extremely.
I remember as a kid,
Yeah.
right? We used to always say this thing when I was young, well, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But
Yeah.
there can be nothing further from the truth, man. Words
Yeah.
can absolutely destroy a person.
Yeah.
So you have to assess your circle, right? And make sure the people that are in your circle are speaking positively about you and to you, even when you're not around. And I talk about this all the time.
Man.
So you
we
have
both
to
gonna touch on
stay.
that. Yeah.
You have to stay in circles with people who speak your names in rooms where you are not invited.
Oh man,
So-
that's a major gym drop.
Man, I'm telling you
Major
right now, I could speak to that power all day. There are real estate agents I can use, for example, who have been in rooms they are coaches, okay? So they walk in a room and whatever they say is law to other real estate agents.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So they walk in a room and they say, you know what, you need to be using Lance Wilmore as your mortgage broker because
Period.
nobody else is doing it like him. Nobody else is giving this level of customer service. Nobody else is following up with these clients.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is helping me get my offers accepted like Lance Wilmore. And I wasn't even in the room.
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
even aware this conversation was happening. 24 hours later, my phone starts ringing. Hey, such and such told me about you, said you're the greatest mortgage broker. I need to be working with you. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Because they're not all created equal.
They are not all created
People
equal.
and some people think that, I just get along. It's not.
No, not at all.
It's not, yeah.
Not at all. And so, but that goes back to the power of words. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. You need to keep people in your circle that will speak your name in rooms where you're not invited.
Definitely.
So when you're not invited in those rooms, and then the people who was in that room start to call you, don't even wonder why. Just know that you have the right people in your circle.
Exactly.
Right? So speaking those positive affirmations over yourself and having the people in your circle speak those positive affirmations over you is another thing in itself.
Definitely.
So the company you keep will make all the difference in this business. So there are people who will talk positively about you, but also there are people who will never have anything positive to say.
Right,
But they'll
yeah.
also have anything negative to say either.
Yeah,
So you got to watch
yeah,
for those
yeah.
people also.
You do.
The ones who don't have anything to say, low key is hate. It's low key hate. If they don't have anything positive or negative to say and they're in your circle, why are you around?
Man,
Right?
I that's why when people share my stuff on social media or when they vouch for me and I found out from someone give me a call, man, that is just an amazing feeling, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's an amazing feeling.
is.
And the more you put yourself out there, you'll start to realize that you got a lot more people that love you than hate you. Now, it's the individuals that don't post consistently and they get a bad comment and don't realize that, well, okay, you got one bad comment, but you got 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 positive comments.
Mm-hmm.
You let that one comment totally change your mood. And I had to learn that the hard way with my YouTube channel, but that didn't happen until I consistently was posting.
Yeah.
Consistently.
And,
You know what I mean?
And that's important, man. That's important to know.
Very.
Consistency is the key. All right. So if you're constantly doing something, just know that you're going to get the positive results as a result of it.
Yeah.
You know, and so that always goes back to if you're able to monitor those comments, right? You're seeing everything that's happening on your YouTube channel. You're seeing everything that's happening on your social media channels. You're seeing the comments that people are making. Pay attention to those things and don't let the negative stuff detract from what it is that you're trying to do on a
100%.
regular basis, man.
100%.
That's important. That's
100%, man. 100%. Because I mean, I've seen it lots of times where people will get a negative comment and they'll respond to it back in a negative way, and they MIA.
Right.
They MIA.
So let's talk about this then, man. So who actually, and I know I got a ton of names I could list. Who kind of motivated you along the way, man? I'm talking about from the days in Chicago when it was young Dan Hunt, or Daniel Hunt, all the way up to where we are now with It's Dan Can. Who motivated you, and how did they motivate you along the way, man?
Man, that's a good question. Growing up in the South Side of Chicago, I'm thankful to have had a solid foundation, a mother and father who, we was in church every Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to have a father that always went to work. You know what I'm saying? He always went to work. I saw what it looked like for a man to get up and actually go to work to provide
Yeah.
for his family.
Yeah.
Then my
That's
mother
strong. That's
was
strong.
always praying for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people think because a lot of times, you see the Daniel of today, you don't realize that, going to school, I had to go through 3 different gangs just to get to school. BDs,
Wow.
Vice Lords.
Yeah.
Folks was
Yeah.
running was running the school
Yeah.
when I was first 2 years in school. I had a bunch of friends who was Blackstones gangs on the east side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I had to endure these different things just going to walking
Yeah.
to school
Yeah.
every single day. So I
Yeah.
had to. That was probably the beginning of the journey. I had to. Unfortunately, I did. I had to figure out or learn these different handshakes. And these people knew that I was not a part of their gang,
Yeah.
but they included me. They included me as, oh man, that's he cool. He played basketball, the guys, but he cool.
Yeah.
And I learned how to mix and mingle with different groups for basically survival. And then
Yeah.
it became to where they just became good friends. They're just products of their environment.
Yeah.
They weren't
Yeah.
necessarily all bad people.
Yeah.
But I would say that foundation was very important to me. So I would say my mom and dad first and foremost. But as I started to get older, there are a lot of people that there was a lot of different people, of course, that I looked up to, man. I think now as far as my real estate career, there's lots of individuals, just name a few. I look at a lot of stuff like, Josh Altman, the Altman brothers, I look at their stuff.
Yeah.
Ennis, he does a lot of tours that I look up to. Ryan Serhant, I look at a lot of his ideas and implement my own concepts to that.
Yeah.
Because in the luxury space that I'm in, I don't see a lot of us
Yeah.
doing it in the forefront
Yeah.
outside of ignorant TV shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in a positive way, in a positive light, I don't see that. So I would take, of course, different things from different realtors that may not look like me,
Yeah.
and then put my own swag, my own personality into
Yeah.
it to where it became, so it's original.
Yeah.
But of course, man, Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, E.T. We both look Eric
Yo,
Thomas.
man.
we both watch him,
Yeah,
as motivation. Like
Yeah.
most of my mentors, man, I do have a private mentor, but most of my mentors don't even know they're my mentors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Myron Golden.
Yeah.
Like I watch him religiously. You know what I mean? And I don't even now I'm at a point to where I wouldn't even reach out to them until I have something to offer or I can pay them well.
Yeah.
But I'm at the stage mentally where I've watched them so much, they don't even know they've given me so much free mentoring.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You watch someone constantly over and over and over again. If you take time, we in a day and age. And I'm gonna bring this back to you. 'Cause I got a question for you. We live in a time where if you literally watch content on YouTube over and over and over again,
Yeah.
even if you don't believe it, even if you don't believe you can accomplish it, eventually you're gonna start going from, man, that's a bunch of mess. It doesn't. I don't believe that. But if you keep watching, it'll go from, well, maybe I can.
You know what? They might be on to something.
They might
right
be
here.
on to
Yeah,
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so they might be on to something. Then you constantly keep hearing it. You're like, you know what? Let me try it out.
Yeah.
Then you try it out and you still listen to it. Let me try it out. Then you realize that you
Yeah,
get just a
yeah,
window.
yeah,
You ain't need
yeah.
a window of success. Like my channel saw a window of success.
Uh-huh.
When I saw a window of success, I did video tours on my channel for 6 months. 6 months. I got my first millionaire listing it took me 6 months to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was that window of opportunity, that window win that was like, man, if I did this one time,
Yeah.
I wonder how many times I could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it
Then you start
it
testing
grows.
yourself. Yeah.
Then you start testing yourself.
Yeah.
It grows. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And then you start having people around you that are positive thinkers as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all relative. It all comes together. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
absolutely.
I mean, yeah, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, who motivated you? I mean, because you got an interesting story, man. Especially
Yeah.
with anybody that survived Katrina, man. Because
Yeah,
I think a lot of people forget how devastating
Man.
that changed the whole dynamic of
Yeah.
Texas, man.
Yeah.
That was major.
It did. And you
That
know,
was major.
that's interesting because I ended up in Texas. A lot of my family and friends ended up in different states.
Yeah.
My fiance at the time, who is now my wife of 17 years, she ended up in Memphis. I was in Dallas, so that was a challenge in itself. Shout out to Nicole and Aaron. Those are the people, like you say, you stayed on somebody's sofa. I did the same thing, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And these folks were newlyweds at the time.
Yeah.
Nicole was pregnant with a baby at the time, but they had
Wow.
the grace to allow me to stay on their couch. So, it's people like that, man, who even helped me along the way. That's motivation in itself. You might not have to say anything, but your gestures, go a very long way, man. People see what you do for them.
Yeah.
And that sticks with me. They probably forgot all about it because they're kind people, but for me, man, that's something that has stuck with me for forever, and it will forever. But as far as motivation, man, it's always been people who I grew up with, obviously my parents. My dad was a reader. My dad stayed in school his whole life. He was literally picking up a new trade from electrician to AC, HVAC stuff. My dad even went to barber school. He did all kind of things.
Yeah.
So he was one of these people, man, who was an avid reader and an avid learner, And so he was a very motivational person for me. But also my mom, man. I watched my mom come up. I grew up in a very meager beginning, man. I grew up in a trailer park, initially until I was about 12 or 13 years old. We ended up moving into kind of a real house. But just watching my mom grind and come up and do things like that, man. But where I am now, kind of looking back over it, a lot of my family, all the men on my dad's side of the family were entrepreneurs. All of them,
Gotcha.
And so from every type of business, man, to one of my uncles was a chemist. Another one of my uncles was owned a nightclub, owned a barbershop, all these different trades. My dad owned a few businesses throughout his life as well. I have an uncle who's probably one of the most successful HVAC people in Louisiana. To this day, man, he's 60 plus years old, still going hard. So it's hard workers who motivated me, who I was able to watch come up as men in my life.
Yeah.
And as a young person, one of my first jobs was working with my uncle, installing air conditioners in homes and different things like that, right? So just having the opportunity to work hard motivated me. Mm-hmm. But when I look at where I am now, man, the professional circle that I've built around myself intentionally has been important, man, because there were times when you could just kind of let people walk in and out of your life, man. Your life can really be like a screen door, to give an example. And that screen door could be unlocked and you could let people come in and you could let people go out. Or you could actually put a deadbolt on a real door and that could be how people come in and out of your life. And they only come in if you allow them access, right?
Oh, nice.
You have to allow those people access into your life because ultimately, if it's just free flowing like a revolving door, then you're not really protecting your peace. You're not really protecting who you are as a person, right? And so with their presence in your life, you can allow some of the wrong things to come in. So if you allow the right people to come in your life, man, and start to be intentional about it, asking them for mentorship, asking them for advice, asking them for guidance, you can live the life that you want to live.
Man, I like that you that point you said on being intentional. I see with classes that I teach, I notice a lot of individuals post to just post. A lot of people I think don't really understand how powerful social media and your cell phone with consistency is.
Oh yeah, this right here.
You know what I'm saying?
This right here?
This phone,
absolutely.
Your phone is a money printing machine used consistently and correctly.
Yeah.
There are so many people out there that will do business with you if you post intentionally on a consistent basis.
On a consistent basis.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, what happens is people will post, you got a new bakery coming out and you post your bakery 1 or 2 times. You're not for real. We don't take you seriously.
Right.
That is a hobby.
Right.
You're not about this life. Mm-hmm. If we say, "Oh, okay, we're I don't mind posting the beginnings of this podcast room." Mm-hmm. You guys might have saw it on my stories, you might have saw it on Facebook. Everybody's not like me, I understand that, but I don't mind posting it because if I post it halfway done, I already know it's getting done.
Yeah.
I've made the decision to get it done. Right. So I will post it out there consistently, even in the beginning stages, because I've made the decision this is going to get done. Mm-hmm. So now that when you see it, you're going to see it a whole lot more. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it's very intentional. Mm-hmm. It's intentional in finding the individuals that like who Dan Can is, the people's realtor. They like who I am. They believe in me, and they want to see this grow not only for us but for others. The more this channel grows, the more our platform grows, the more people that we can help. the
Yeah.
more we can give back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to make that very clear. It's not about us. I mean, we've kind of found our mojo. Of course, we're building, but
Yeah.
we know who we are.
Yeah.
We know where we're going. We have a clear kind of idea of how we're going to get there.
Yeah.
We don't know what may happen when we get there. It may be a lot more opportunities, but we have a clear path. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I do home tours on my YouTube channel. I do this as a podcast.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm thinking about. Whatever comes out of that, motivational speaking, mentorship,
Yeah.
whatever comes from that,
Yeah.
I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm focused on those two things, and that's it. Dan Can Clothing Line coming out. It's gonna come from this.
Yeah.
We're gonna have merch, but it's gonna come from this channel. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Everything's coming from this way. And so when we post, we're very intentional about that and asking you guys, hey, the channel is gonna be up probably within a week or so.
Yeah.
We're gonna let you guys know. Please go subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share it. You know what I mean? Ask
Share it.
people to
Yeah,
do what
yeah,
you want
yeah,
to
share
do.
it.
You're not where you're at a lot of times because you don't ask, so you don't receive.
Yeah, yeah. I like that, man. You have
Point
to be
blank, period.
intentional. And the thing about what you said about walking in your purpose, so many things come from you walking in your purpose.
Yeah, man.
And so you have to really see that for what it is. Your purpose is truly like planting a garden with various seeds, right?
Yeah,
Not just
yeah.
one type of seed. But when you actually go out and you plant those seeds and you walk in your purpose, there are so many different things that are going to sprout up as a result
Yeah.
of you walking in your purpose. Other people are going to see you walking in your purpose.
Yeah.
And when they see you walking in your purpose and doing what it is that you're actually made and created to do, they're going to want to ride that wave with you.
They gonna even want to ride, or they ain't gonna want to be a part of it. I got some friends. I got some friends. You know, like I say, we're keeping it very very PG on here, but so we ain't gonna say no names. But some people gonna follow. They see where you're going, and you're not doing some of the things you used to do anymore because you're getting real and serious about your purpose. It's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay because what's gonna happen is, let me tell you what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is the people who you think are your friends, who are falling out. Jealousy and envy is just as much of a sin as robbing and stealing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's wrong. It's probably wrong.
Yeah,
so if you got a
absolutely.
friend that's jealous or envious of you, and they don't want to see you succeed, right? It's okay because you're gonna pick up new friends like us.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right?
man.
I've known this guy since what 04, 05?
Somewhere around like 05. Yeah.
04, 05?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lance for many years, I would say outside of maybe a year recently, has just been a close associate, a real cool associate. Man, Lance is a cool cat. Man.
Yeah.
He's a cool cat. Always had respect for him. I know his work ethic, but a close associate. You know what I mean? Lots of people have fallen off. Now he's become a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it happens. I've had, Daniel, the one that my other partner, his name is Daniel as well. He does a lot of stuff for us, just as a support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you pick up, you drop people off, but that just leaves room for real people to enter your life. So don't be worried about it.
Yeah.
Let them go. Let them go.
Yeah. And that's truly the essence of sacrifice.
Yeah.
You have to understand you have to let something go in order to gain something.
Exactly.
Right.
100%.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes that's something you have to let go is people. Sometimes it's places. Sometimes it's things. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's habits.
Yeah.
Right. But what are you willing to let go of in order to get to where you want to go? Right.
Right.
And so I always hear the analogy when people talking about climbing a mountain as the higher you climb, the harder it is to breathe. And so sometimes when you
Yeah,
start
yeah.
watching people, like I'm kind of a Discovery Channel buff. Like I'll watch,
Me too, yeah.
Nat Geographic and all that other stuff. But a lot of the times when you watching those documentaries about people climbing Mount Everest, they have to start leaving things behind.
Yeah.
Right. When the higher they get,
Man,
they start leaving a lot of that stuff behind because
I
it's
like
harder
it.
for them to get to the top when they're carrying all that baggage.
Exactly.
Right. And so
Exactly.
you have to think about what is it that I'm going to give up. And so that's why when people talk about fasting, how I really respect that as a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
For some people it's religious, but there's science behind that.
Yeah,
And there's a reason
yeah.
why you have to give up something in order to live a purer life, to be a better version of yourself, right? So what is it you have to ask yourself regularly? What is it that I'm willing to give up in order for me to gain something else, right? And so that's critically important in your professional life, in your personal life, in all aspects of your life, you have to constantly be thinking about what is it that I need to leave behind in order for me to take that next step.
Man, I like it. I mean, so just kind of put you on the spot. What? Because I know we're really trying to help as many people out as possible, man.
Yeah.
What if you had to think off the top of your head, and like I said, I'm putting you on the spot. What are some things that you feel as though you had to leave behind to reach even the level that you're at now?
Man, that's a good question, man. So I'm gonna take it back just a couple months here. So I was an employee of one of the biggest banks in the world, literally, of one of the biggest financial institutions, richest companies in the world. And one thing that kept me at that position was the money that I was making.
Yeah.
And the opportunities that were afforded to me with the networking inside of that particular company, right? But I had to make a decision within myself and say, even if I don't make the same amount of money or even make less money, will I be okay with taking this step outside of this organization? Will I be okay with leaving?
Yeah.
Right. And so I started to do some soul searching. One thing that I gave up was somewhat of a complacent lifestyle. Right. Once I got home from work, it was time for me to just relax, sit down, watch some TV with my kids. I had to pick up. So I left behind a complacent lifestyle and had to pick up weights. Literally, right? I had to put down hamburgers and pick up the kale. You know what I mean? Like real talk, man. So, the dietary way of life, the things that you put in your body are huge. So that's one of the most basic, fundamental, foundational things about transformation is not only what you are doing, but what is it that you're putting in your body, on a regular basis, man. So eating right? Instead of bacon and eggs in the morning, we're doing smoothies, right? Yeah. We're going to make sure that we drink some water, right? And this can be a gift and a curse, man.
It can be.
This cell phone can be a gift and a curse. So instead of when you roll over, instead of this being the first thing you pick up in the morning, go outside, right?
Man, I'm
go
big
outside,
on that.
Get some sunlight, put your feet in the dirt, right? And get some sunlight. So what is it that you're willing to change and give up? Definitely give up the technology time for better things, right? Now, know how to use that phone, know how to, like you talked about, posting intentionally and not just scrolling on your phone. So I had to give up those habits in order to try to take the next step in my career. And by the time I felt comfortable enough, it was because I had fasted off of meat. I had fasted off
that was a big help for me.
certain foods, right? Went vegetarian for quite a while in order to free my body up and free my mind to make room for the things that were in front of me, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people have vices, man. I stopped drinking alcohol, right? I haven't drank alcohol and I couldn't tell you how long. I wasn't a regular drinker, but even just a little bit of alcohol, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm on a mission right now. And sometimes you have to make plans to leave things alone, even if they're not destroying your life. I've never been, an alcoholic or drank a lot of beers, things like that. But every now and then, if I go out, I might have a drink. But social, social drinker, right? But even giving those things up to make room in your mind and your body and your spirit for the things that you need. So I could go on a list, man, but ultimately it was changing habits. What habits was I willing to give up in order to go to the next step? And it was definitely habits, man. Habits.
Big time, man. I could piggyback off that as well, man. Eat the way you eat. And a big habit of mine was pick up that phone right when you wake up, because you're looking at, okay, what are my YouTube numbers here, or who's contacting me here and there, and so change that morning routine of, lately I would say for the past, at least the past 6 months to a year, my relationship with God, trying to getting closer, because I realized that my whole entire life has been religion. You know what I mean? And my parents had put that foundation there, but I had no relationship. I couldn't really hear. I can't really hear when he talked to me. You know what I'm saying? I really can't hear, like, if I ask a question, I hear silence. You know what I mean? As of now, where I know that there's different ways that he may talk to me. He may talk to me of a feeling. He may talk to me of a phone call. Hey, man, I want such. He got a phone call. Hey, man, I got this idea. Man, I had that same idea. It feels right. That's relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's relationship.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So that's one thing that was really important to me. And of course, another thing, of course, is health, man. Health. I mean, I went as far as, man, writing a list of all the people that I knew in my life currently, and how they were serving me. And if it wasn't positive, they got put into different categories.
Yeah.
without them knowing,
Mm.
but you got put into a category.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I got intentional
Yeah.
about it.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't just, and it's okay to switch up.
Yeah.
It's okay to switch up, and you don't owe anybody an explanation. It's your life.
Mm.
It's your life to
Yeah.
live. So,
Yeah.
people are still are in my life, but some people may be in my life more as a distance, as others may be closer because they fit the plan of what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to level up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I used to tell myself that in my 30s and 20s that, the people around me it don't really matter. I'm strong-minded, this, that, and other. But it does.
Relationships, man.
It does matter. You know what I mean? And you want people on the same positive page you are. If you're trying to, that's why, it's cool to hang around, for me to hang around people like Lance because we have the same eating habits.
Yeah.
I have friends that smoke and drink, and there's nothing wrong with them if that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't hang around them as much as I may have in the past because I don't smoke cigars. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you hang around those individuals, you're going to pick up secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, you know what? Let me just try it. Let me try a cigar. Try a cigar. Or let me just try. I mean, it's not a heavy drug. I would never try that. But I'm just like a cigar or a drink. You're like, it won't kill me. When that turns to 1, then 2, then 3, you do it 1 weekend, 2 weekends, 3 weekends. That turns to 4, 5, 6 weekends.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're right, man. What ends up happening is you start to take on the residue of the habits of the people around you.
By default.
Whether or not you actually pick up those habits, you start to pick up the residue from those habits.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And so that's a real thing, especially if you got people around you smoking, doing things like that. You go home smelling like smoke. It's all in your hair. It's all on your clothes, right? So, and that's a figurative thing as well, right? You start to pick up those habits of the...
Which there's nothing... talking
no,
bad about it at all. If that's the lifestyle you want to live, I mean, so some of my mentors, Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
I like a lot of things he drops.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a lot of things he drops.
Yeah.
But as far as, he likes to smoke cigars all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to have him eventually one day on the show.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. So
don't get it wrong.
Yeah, it's
we
not
let
that
have you on the show.
negative about it, but ultimately,
it's just not a part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's figuratively as well, right? So if you are doing something, it's going to eventually rub off on me, man, no matter what it is that you're doing. But I think one thing I wanted to touch on is when you talked about religion and relationship. Right?
Yeah,
man, that's heavy for me because I could speak on that for hours, but I'll say this, man. I grew up in a very religious household as well. Very religious, and I'm thankful for my mom for that because it put a foundation in me.
Exactly.
With how to operate, how to be a responsible person, how to be a loving person and caring and all of those things. But I lacked relationship, man.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, as I got older, I started to understand there is a difference.
Big time.
There's a huge difference between religion and there's religion and there's relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're a religious person, no disrespect to you, that is a beautiful thing in most cases.
It's a great
religion
foundation.
Is a beautiful foundation, man, because I know people from all faiths. I don't care what the faith is, what religion it is. I can find things in their character that is a direct reflection of their religious lifestyle, and it's a positive thing in most cases.
Right.
Right? Because they have a respect for life a lot of times that other people don't have who might not be religious. And you don't have to be religious to have a respect for life. But ultimately what I'm saying is there comes a time when you reach a crossroads and you start to understand, okay, there is a difference between religion and relationship with God.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I started to get older and have kids and start to see how life works, that is then when I started to see that difference and started to do things differently to tap into that relationship with God as opposed to just that religion, man. And so, I think that's an important step. Of another thing that motivated me along the way is the relationship with God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times we can use that to our advantage and the advantage of others as well. And so it's important to kind of concentrate on that relationship, man. So, but I think this is a good start for us, D. I think it's a good place for us to really allow people to get to know us. And our motivations for starting this channel and what it is that we're doing here.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you to all of your followers. Definitely follow me with Home Loans with Lance on Instagram. Y'all will be seeing a lot more of me as Dan and I work together on this channel. We will be establishing a YouTube presence here very, very soon.
Yeah,
right?
this is you guys on my IG Live are seeing our first live recording.
Yeah.
So this will be up on the channel hopefully within the next week. We'll be dropping 4 or 5 kind of probably 25 to 30-minute snippets of the full tour, which will then drop the full tour toward the end of the week. So we're not sure when exactly we're going to drop it, but it might be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, where you'll get 25, 30-minute clips, and then you'll get the full clip on Friday or Saturday. We're working out the schedule on that as we speak. But be sure to look out for it, guys. So be ready to subscribe, share it. We're gonna talk about a number of different topics as you've seen here. We're also gonna have guests on the show. We got a lot of other surprises as well. So definitely tune in and subscribe and share.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And so we'll get some good guests on here. We'll be talking about various topics, like you said. I mean, everything, y'all, from real estate to just leveling up in your physical appearance, in your spiritual life. Real estate negotiation techniques, being a landlord, using property for profit, overcoming self-doubt, all the things that you might be wondering how to actually maximize your potential, like the sign says. So we can't wait to get with y'all, and I really appreciate the time we were able to spend with you today.
Until next time, thanks for watching Maximize Your Potential with Dan and Lance. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.